system right here is actually heading out. This is like a full system right here that's ready to ship. So this one will get shipped out, and then that one's coming in, and then this behemoth that's over there is going to start coming over here.
Okay.
It's pretty decent throughput.
Okay.
So this behemoth is actually coming apart. So today we actually just took the 10 columns off.
Okay.
But you can still get a pretty good idea of the system.
Wow. All right.
So this is our behemoth. You know, 100 pounds a day. We have multiple clients running 2,000 pounds a day in this thing. Run cold fast. That's really kind of where this system shines, because it's not only is it scale, but it's also scale fast, cold. So being able to run light resin and not just be a crude cannon, you know, they call them.
Yeah.
But you can still run 100 pounds an hour live resin with this thing.
Wow.
And it's designed for constant operation. So 5 columns here, 5 columns there. Essentially what we do is we just go 1 column at a time down the line. We run all 5, and we send it to the other side and do the same thing. And
Like a cascade.
yeah, so while those 5 are running, these 5 are being changed. So it's kind of like a bike where you're just always going.
Okay.
And everything.
So they all have manifolds that they.
Yeah. So there's a manifold up top,
Yeah.
your solvent supply up top, and it's designed so you can keep everything separate. So if you wanted to process like 2 cultivars or toll for 2 different clients, you can keep everything separate. And even the way we have the wash down in the backside, you could come in and do like an A wash where you run really fast and cold, and then switch everything and send it to that side, and then just come in and just blast it as much as you can, and get that B wash, and then just reverse it on the other side. So there's a lot of, you know, different ways that you could run, where you'd be running at scale and still getting everything out of it, or, you know, keeping your strain specific. Or
And then what are these for? Are these for holding gas and stuff?
so again, yeah, these inner columns are just the refrigeration system.
Yep.
So this is the
utility
system.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So it's our refrigeration system, and actually, you know, the larger we go,
Is this for the wipe pump?
it's a vacuum pump.
Yeah,
That's
but or just to put the system under vacuum.
This just pulls the whole system under
Okay.
vacuum.
Okay. All right.
So everything's manifolded here off of this, so you can just be pulling vacuum right there.
Very cool.
But yeah, this system is actually like, you know, whereas the Turbo Max takes 10 minutes to get to -60, -70, this does it in 5 minutes. And it actually uses less power. And so the bigger we go, we can keep going larger than that, and it just cuts the time in half again, because we can get there faster.
What's this situation? Is that your solvent tank?
Yeah, so this is solvent supply, and this is wash down rail, so everything is designed for clean in place.
How many pounds of solvent does that fit?
That'll hold 460 pounds.
Okay.
So it's a 500 pound tank, but you still got the 20% head space.
Yep.
But 500 pounds will keep you in an F1. This entire system actually runs on 70 pounds.
Yeah.
So we inject 70 pounds and then we cycle within that. And then the 70 pounds will go, like, once it goes down to 55 pounds, you bring more solvent in, but then you go back to 70. And so you just can run. So this whole system can run on a 100-pound tank and be fit in a F1.
Okay, that's what I want.
Without
like
even
Denver
full
fire or something.
There's different rules. So like 150 pounds, like you're technically, like, there's different like levels of fire suppression that you're required.
Sure.
So, you know, F1 will go up to 300, and then you file for a special permit to get to 500 or 600 pounds depending on the area. But this we have many of these systems, and they're all in an F1.
Okay.
When you go to like an H2 and then H1, depending on the amount of solvent that you have, the requirements change.
What's
like,
H2 and H1? Is that like, oh, you have to have sprinklers, you have to have this.
Well, it's just like your certificate of occupancy. So there's all kinds of things that come into play when you have more solvent in the room. So when you go over 600 pounds, like there's like, for instance, you have to put automation on the supply tank where if the gas detection system goes off, the supply tank would shut down.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which isn't a requirement in F1, but you know, people don't realize that when they start bringing in more and more solvent. Like technically, what you have to do is you would have to you'd have to pay the money to automate this thing. You'd have to automate all the zones so that there's not too much solvent that comes out when there's a leak, and then you'd have to recertify with the
Does
engineering.
everything have you know, it can be isolated on the whole system. Everything can be.
Yeah, I mean, everything's valved, so every zone, you know, it's just like anything. Every zone has a PRV and a pressure gauge and can be, you know, sealed off, I guess. But when you go to like an H2...
What's all of this? Where does this all go?
So these are 3-way valves, so because we cycle, so that we can go to condenser.
That's all for your solvent, though.
Yeah, correct. So this is process side, so that goes up to the condensers when we're cycling, and we can do condenser bypass as well as recovery at the end of the day, but we just keep extracting.
If you buy a machine, does everybody get trained on it?
Yeah, every system that we sell comes with 5 days of training.
Yeah.
On site, so it's just included in the cost.
Because there are like more things going on here than your average system. Not to you guys, because you look at them all day, so it's black and white to you. But there's more. There's more. I feel like there's more things than an average extractor would be like. Oh, wait, do I turn this valve, or do I do this or this one? And I'm sure it's just like. Once you get it,
and that's what gives you a lot more of the flexibility and the ability to do lots of things. You know, being able to have full control of the system, move your solvent. It's not like a lot of systems where when you get stuck in a certain spot or something gets clogged, you have to take the whole thing apart.
Okay.
We really don't have that problem at all. We have ways that we can, you know, send it back the other way and
you can really change the direction.
Yeah, I mean, a system like this isn't designed to be taken apart, really.
Yeah, it gets set in place and then it
Yeah.
And then it goes. Yeah, it's very solid.
So, and there's tons of filtration on the system all over, all kinds of different stuff. We go down to 0.22 micron.
Where?
You know, everything. What's up?
Where?
So they're inside of this. So this is filtration. We actually have a different filtration system here we can do.
For your oil or your gas, or like what do you filter? Your oil?
Yeah, everything and the gas. So we don't use molecular sieves. We use air dryers.
Okay.
So no sieves. So we have drains.
On the system?
Yeah, all over the system. So we have all kinds of different filters. Like all the compressors, we put metal filters on them, so nothing coming off the compressor could get it back in the system.
Okay, that's good moves.
All we let is the exhaust out. So
good moves.
Yeah, and I can show you that stuff. Like
and then the heat goes to the white film.
Yeah, there's a white film on each side, so you can see. There's two on this system.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do both of these go with this?
Yep, correct.
Wow.
So, and that's again how you keep everything separate. So you have your solvent recovery. We go to the basins. We do CRC off of here.
Okay.
All kinds of stuff.
These like filters.
Yeah, I mean those are the heads of the system.
Okay.
But here, this is the filter. So there's filtration here. There'll be a filter that goes in here.
Oh, cool.
And this is what comes off the pump. So we actually use like a 0.4 micron metal filter right here.
Okay.
It's just getting the pump exhaust, making sure there's nothing coming off the compressor.
Wow.
And then it comes here and runs the heat system for the rest of this.
How much does this system run?
And these are filters.
Like this whole setup. What are you at? How much does this cost? Like $500,000?
It's a little more than that.
Yeah, because this thing is a beast. It is very large.
Yeah.
But it can run so much weight for people that need it. You know, regular systems, you're like 100 pounds a day.
Yeah, I mean, for us, this is all, you know, getting live resin ready for, you know, large states. I mean, California is already ready for this. And then obviously the regional model's coming, and then exporting will be a thing. So
you have to have a C1D1 room that's this size to fit it.
Yeah, which isn't a problem. We recommend a 20 by 40, 20 by 15 by 40 would work as well.
And then your, but the ceiling limitation, you just get like an extension?
We recommend, I mean, it can be about like 10.5 feet, but when you get into those like 20 by 40s,
they're 15.
Yeah, 14 or 15.
Yeah,
we see 14 or 15. I mean, Podtronics makes them. Advanced Extraction Labs has stuff ready to go that would fit this.
Hal used to be Hal Clothes or something. No?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
had stuff like that.
Yeah, I actually knew Lynn before he even did Hal. He was the industrial hygienist that certified our cannabis lab in like 2011.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had, you could buy ceiling extensions for their kits.
Yeah.
I was into that. Like, if you have a falling film or something, you need that, you know?
Yeah.
So, all right. Wow. Is there a situation where you're like, you know, off gassing and there's too much gas in the room, or do you feel like it really?
I mean, anytime
well?
we definitely have, you know, operational procedure, but you know,
Yeah, people are like, no, we just want to pour it out with as much solvent as we want in there.
Yeah, well, and that's
we've got a 500-pound.
well, because of our solvent recovery system, we have a white film, so we probably have the most efficient solvent recovery system in the industry, because you can really have full control over it just by watching the pressure. So you can get really good at how you like your pour outs or how you want to do it. But if you want to recover the majority of your solvent, you can be done pretty much instantly. So we've maxed this out so far at 36 pounds a minute.
That's pretty impressive.
But that, you know, that's 100% propane. On the 100% butane, it's like 21 pounds.
Yeah. But that's just one more reason to run propane, in my opinion.
I mean, we're definitely fans of propane.
Yeah.
We like a blend. We like a little bit of butane. It depends on what we're running. If we're just running CBD and we're just blasting, we would recommend 100% propane just to run as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Is what we
see.
see.
It's such a good quality of propane to have.
We really like propane because of the pressure. And you can do a lot of. The system runs a lot better under pressure. It's kind of like getting everything to flow certain ways.
I only know like 1 or 2 labs that are doing hemp propane, and that's all I want when I make tinctures and stuff for people. That's all I want.
On CBD, we would recommend, and when we see on the THC that we do get a better yield, a little bit better. We like the pour outs a little better. Better stuff we can manipulate with the post processing. So, you know, 70-30. I mean, we 50-50 even would be fine. But we still like having the propane just so we can get the pressure to keep. When you have a big system like this too, you want to keep everything moving.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a workhorse. This is designed to be run all of the time.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's supposed to be. I mean, when you get to that level, startup and shutdown becomes, you know, less desirable. So it's kind of like you just want to keep, you know, you get better production that way.
It's the future of, you know, large scale.
Yeah, and we've had this thing for 4.5 years now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but they weren't ready for you, you know.
Yeah, well, we can't. That's why we know so much about it. Like, we really learned a lot on CBD because it was like we had this machine ready to go, and then Colorado was obviously a big part of the hemp explosion that happened. So we definitely proved this machine out with hemp, and then brought it back to THC later.
Yeah, because now there's so much THC being grown. Not necessarily here, but California, right?
This isn't a new system to us, at this point.
Right.
I mean, we're not even really changing anything on this system anymore now because it's like, this is the system. So, but we'll see what new things the industry comes up with.
Well, now there's just so much material to be run, and at the time we were so limited, like in the springs, you could barely have any gas in the springs in the room. You could have like 25 pounds, when I was running, and now it's, a little bit more, but I don't know, I'm like, oh, could I have that in the room in like a tiny medical lab in Colorado Springs, But they're not even running that much material. This is designed for somebody that's running that 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, and we have solutions for everything. We're kind of really weird though because we basically started with a really small system, and then we had this one, and then we worked down. So,
you had no in between?
No, so that all the systems that you'll see like kind of now came after the Behemoth.
Okay.
I would, not really. We don't see much interest in it. It's hard to compete with. So this was like kind of our first machine, and then we had to back it down. So we had this one, which is a 10 column. And then we went to our Manticore, which is a 4 column. Okay. But it's still like a 50 pound an hour system.
Okay.
So then we went down to our Turbo Max, which is like a 30 pound an hour system, and we still get lots of requests for like 10 to 20 pounds. So we have the Turbo Max, then we built the Turbo,
Okay.
And then we step down again, and now we have this thing called the E4K double basin.
Okay.
So we have solutions of, like 5 pounds an hour, 10 pounds an hour, 20 pounds an hour, 30 pounds an hour, 50 pounds an hour, 100 pounds an hour. And we now have a design now for a 300 pound an hour system that we're going to start working on next.
Wow.
So we have pretty much like 5 pounds to 300 pounds an hour, like whatever you want. And when we have
scalable. Okay.
And our E4K series line is meant to be kind of more like that modular, where you can add columns, you can add CRCs, you can kind of customize it and build, and like you could start with the E4K double basin, and then you could add the white film later, and then that's why we call it a turbo.
Okay. All right. Okay.
The turbo stands for like the GD1 because it speeds the recovery up of everything.
Yeah.
And then the turbo max. And then this one we would call it twin turbo.
Okay, all right.
Because it's got two.
Right, okay.
But that's kind of some of the...
That's smart, though. The white film, it's unique.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's
really cool.
I mean, in our industry, it's the only thing of its kind. No one's... they make the people are making... We see more fallen films coming out, but...
Yeah.
But really, our white film, I mean, I don't know anyone that's hitting 36 pounds a minute yet.
No. No. That is so cool.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching. If you found this video entertaining and you learned something today, please consider supporting us by clicking this button here. Much appreciated.